you for your time. Hello, my name is Kritika.
We can see your screen, madam. We can see your screen. Yeah, so I will use my screen. It's fine. No problem. You can open the PPT as well. We'll wait for 2 more.
Hi, my name is Rajapalayam, and what I'm going to share with you is everything to me. I'm pursuing my bachelor degree in SNS College of Technology in the stream of Mechanical Engineering. I did my schooling in Javigash Matriculation High Secondary School. Now, I'll tell you how I am different from the other applicants who apply for this job. I'm an honest student. I have some special certifications. And awards, boxing, yoga, and volleyball to start my skills like teamwork. And also attended one international workshop, 3 national level workshops, and did 3 mini quizzes. Award-winning project followed by yes award for the year 2017, which injected
There are ionizers also. Carbon absorb the pollutant. There is another technology called UGS, VGA comes nowadays. It's very good. Now, if you think if you are take some of your topic and how you are going to contact them, you
Hello. Hello. Voice is not clear.
சங்கர்
Hello.
இருக்கு.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we start the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Can we start the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Will you give an introduction or I mean, how is it going? Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Will you give an introduction so that I mean I can start?
Sir.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me proper?
Sir.
Can you hear me?
No, sir. Your audio is not clear.
Is it okay now?
No.
Yes, which is well.
கேட்கல மேம் பேசுறது கேட்கல.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Is it better now?
Sir,
Yes, sir. Is it here, sir? Is
Here.
it hearable?
Is it better now? Hello. Hello.
Hello. Some disturbance is coming, sir.
Echo.
Okay. Welcome to all. Good afternoon to all. This is Uttara here. On behalf of Ramco Institute of Technology, I would like to express my great pleasure in welcoming you all to this webinar on scope and opportunities found in civil engineering.
Can I start now?
Yes, sir. Okay. Good afternoon to all. It is Uttara here. On behalf of Ramco Institute of Technology, I would like to express my great pleasure in welcoming you all to this webinar on scope and opportunities found in civil engineering, handled by Padma Shri Dr. G. Shankar, founder and chairman of Habitat Technology Group, Thiruvananthapuram. Let me begin my heartily welcoming our principal, Dr. Ganesan, to this webinar. We are joined by our vice principal, Dr. Rajapalayam. I welcome you, sir. We are immensely glad to have the heads of various departments and the placement in charge joining us. I welcome you all. I gladly welcome Mr. Dharmar, head in charge of Civil Engineering Department. I extend my welcome to all the faculty members of the Civil Department. We also have civil engineering students in attendance. I welcome you all to this webinar. On behalf of Ramco Institute of Technology, I once again welcome who are all present here. I'm sure you will have a fruitful session. Before we start, let me give a brief introduction to today's resource person. We have amongst us Padma Shri Dr. Shankar, founder and chairman of Habitat Technology Group, Trivandrum. He is commonly known as the People's Architect. He completed his B.Arch from Kerala University and MS from Birmingham School of Architecture, UK, with rank 1 and distinction. He has served as the chairman of National Committee to frame disaster mitigant design specifications, Government of India. He has also served in advisory and consulting position for AICTE, New Delhi, National Institute of Rural Development, Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, New Delhi, etc. He has also served as a visiting faculty to many universities in and outside India, some of which include Lund University, Sweden, and the Central University of Philippines. He has held several positions such as International Director, Architect, Sans Frontières, Paris, France. President, South Asian Coalition of Community Architects. Consultant to various international organizations, Harden, Netherlands, Architecture and Development, France, BGS, Germany. Core group member, International Study Team on Traditional Idioms of Architecture, World Council of Churches, Geneva, Swiss. He is also a recipient of several awards such as Padma Shri Award in recognition of distinguished service in the field of science and engineering, Government of India in 2011. National Award for Slum Rehabilitation Works from the Ministry of Poverty Alleviation, Government of India in 2004. National Award for Best Eco City Design, HUDCO 2014. First Lorry Baker Award from the Government of Kerala. Best Tsunami Initiative in India, UNDP India. Person of the Year Award from India Vision News Channel for the year 2005. The list is long. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Without consuming much time, I hand the session to sir. Shall we start with the session?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you very much for the opportunity. In fact, I was talking to a platform, digital platform, constituted by Ramco Cements a few days back on sustainable housing. I don't know how many of you have heard of that. And thank you again, Ramco Group, for giving this opportunity to talk to students. We are all going through very, very difficult times, challenging times. In the sense, calamities are happening and we are going through difficulties now. We are going through difficulties and I've been working in the disaster mitigation sector for the last 30 years across the world. And let me tell you that all these disasters, COVID times, for instance, give you immense opportunities. Let us actually look at it carefully. And am I audible? Am I audible? Hello?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Hey, yes, you're audible, but can you hear me?
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Of course, yes.
You are audible.
Please see that. Go to the participants, select mute all. Nothing
sir, we
is
did, sir.
audible over there. Please see that it is done immediately. That is done immediately. Otherwise, there is no use.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
അച്ഛൻ പോസ്റ്റ് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് പറ്റില്ല. ഒരു നിമിഷം ഇതെല്ലാം ഒന്ന് അടയ്ക്കട്ടെ.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Sir, we are audible from our end.
Yeah, of course, you are very clear. I mean, am I audible?
Sir, pardon me, sir.
Can you listen to me now? Can you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir, I could hear.
Okay, what about others?
No, sir. No, it is not audible. Absolutely, it is chaos. And the
Okay, sir.
organizers, they have to take action against those people who have not switched off their mic. Eject them out. Eject them out.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. 1 minute.
Hello. Okay, hello. 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 ഞാനല്ലല്ലോ അവർക്ക് കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലേ എന്താണ് ഹലോ
Sir, we are able to hear.
Can I start again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you hear the first part what I said?
Sir?
No. Did you hear the first part of my presentation?
Yes, sir. We were able to hear the first part of the session.
Okay. Can I continue? Can I continue?
Sir?
Hello?
Pardon, sir?
Can I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can continue.
Okay, sorry. Sorry for all these interruptions. I was talking about disasters actually giving opportunity to a lot of people. For the people who are actually looking at engineering as an option, actually COVID times, I mean, it is giving you immense opportunity to sit back, relax, and look at the potential of, your career. You're getting a lot of time. At my age, you complete your first job and then rush to, make a choice whether you want engineering and which discipline of engineering that you want to choose. Those are issues when I actually started my education in engineering. But in a way, you're lucky because you're getting a lot of time to contemplate, to sit back, relax, and make your decision after looking at all the options. Let me tell you very clearly, I mean, I'm getting in the chat box some of the participants telling me that I'm not audible. Is that true? Is that true? I'm getting a few, now it's okay. Okay, so I'll continue with that. Why do you have to choose engineering? Is the first question that I would like to reflect on. Why should you choose? I mean, forget about civil engineering forget about civil engineering as an option now. Let us choose why we should actually look at engineering per se. I'm going to make a statement. That is still echo coming. Echo is coming. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Echo is still coming? Echo? You say that my voice is not audible. I don't know. I mean, something is happening.
Sir, your voice is audible, sir.
Yeah, okay.
But
I'm
echo is.
Some echo? Hello?
Sir?
Are
Yes,
you
sir.
getting echo?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'll just give me a minute. I will go to another place so that, just give me a minute. 1 second. It's coming.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಫ್ ಇದಿಲ್ಲ
Hello. Let me check.
ഹലോ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞേ.
Hello. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it better? Well, can I start?
Yes, sir. You please. You can proceed.
Sorry. A lot of disturbance. I'm sorry for that. I mean, a lot of inconvenience happening in between. I was talking about the opportunities that engineers will have. Why engineers is the whole question. Why engineers? What is so special about engineers? A lot of people ask me, what is so special? Why people are actually thronging to get into engineering? And there are so many other professions that give immense opportunities. But I'm making a statement now to the aspirants of engineering. I'm going to make a statement, which is the aspirants of engineering. I'm going to make a statement, which is actually true because I have traveled this distance for the last 35 years. And I should tell you that I have enjoyed every minute of my journey. I've enjoyed every minute of my journey as an architect, as an engineer. Now, I was talking about one statement. I'm going to make this statement loud and clear that engineers actually, they make the world. They make the world and they move the world. Just look at it. I've made a statement that engineers make the world and they move the world. Why did I say that? Every perceptible intervention in the world, looking at infrastructure, looking at all phases of development, even COVID times, we are talking about medical equipments. We are talking about calibrations. We are talking about some systems that will give life to the COVID patient. Who make these machines? It's the engineers. It's the engineers. Everything that you associate with development, everything that actually goes on with this thing is very intricately related to engineering. So, I mean, you should be ready to join the bandwagon of development. And that is why I want each of you looking at me now with so many hopes, so many aspirations to join the bandwagon of engineering. People ask me, engineers are there everywhere. I mean, in every sphere of life, they are there looking at right from administrative service, Indian administrative service. Let me tell you that half of them are actually having an engineering background. Half of them have an engineering background. They are from IITs or NITs or ordinary engineering colleges. They have come to all these levels. I mean, people ask me, what is so special about engineering? Let me tell you that engineering will give you immense opportunities, and the employer, the person who is going to give you an opportunity, looks at some basic qualities and qualifications. What are they? One is your understanding about mathematics, your mathematical ability, if I can put it that way, to look at the numbers, to gauge the depth of everything. I mean, it's all about length, breadth, volume, areas, etc., etc. But unless you have a excellent mathematical ability to decipher things, lot of things. I mean, if you are working in a bank, whether you're working in an international development organization, whether you're working as an academician in the engineering college, whether you are working as a pure engineer somewhere, it is this mathematical ability that actually will help you quite a lot. That is one advantage. 4 years, 5 years of engineering education will actually help you to travel this way. You know, your mathematical ability. Along with mathematics, there's another thing that happened. You know, it's all about problem solving now. You're facing a lot of challenges in life. It's all about problem solving. And who can solve the problem best in the world? Who can solve the problem? The best solvers of this problem, the people who you address the challenges, are engineers, because you know there's a way of analyzing things. Only engineers can do it better. You know, the analytical mind is being developed by engineering. When you go through this course, go to an engineering college 4 years, 5 years, your problem solving capacity, your mental strength to face crises, challenges, and the way you analyze a problem, how do you solve a problem, that actually happens only to the engineering brain. The crisis management, life is full of crises. Every moment is a crisis. Whether you're working in an organization, whether you're working elsewhere, you're always faced with challenges. It's about man management, it's about labor management, it can be about material management, but you're always faced with problems. And engineers, let me underline that, engineers have the huge potential, huge ability to solve the problems better than anybody else. So analyzing the problem and getting the solution is what the world wants now. This is exactly what the world wants now. And that is why I want everybody to become an engineer. Now, you're talking about MBAs and BBAs and management. Engineers, after some time, probably after the initial years, you are all going to manage things. You are going to manage materials, you are going to manage people, you are going to manage. You are basically going to manage a post, I mean, after some time. And who can make a better manager than an engineer? Because of two reasons. At the same time, you can be a team leader. And at the same time, you can become a team player. So both ways, as a team player, as a team leader, we can do a lot of things. You know, as a team leader and a team player, you can actually. So that is why people prefer engineers to all the others. These are the faculties that you develop. Not exactly as a civil engineer, any engineering discipline. These are the faculties that you develop, and that is why you are so special to the world. Now, look at the infrastructure. I talked about development. Look at all the infrastructure that you make around. All the infrastructure, they're all made by engineers. Not only the infrastructure. I mean, it's not only the building. People think that it's the buildings that make the infrastructure. No, it's about water lines, it's about sewer lines, it's about electricity lines, it's all about services. Who makes them? It's the engineers who make that. So that is why I told you that engineers make the world. They make the world, and they move this thing. All the transport system that you know about, right from the aeroplane to the buses, to the cars, to the bullock cars. In fact, engineers make them better. And then you talk about aerodynamics, you talk about aeronautical engineering. There are so many new emerging engineering fields that are coming up, and that is why I made the statement that you move the world. So you make the world and you move the world. All the machine. Now in the COVID time, people talk about, vegetables being grown. You talk about food processing. Who makes the machines? The engineers. So in every palpable ways, the engineers that move the world, make the world and things like that. Now, for the first time in my life, I mean, let me tell you this. The first time in my life, I was never actually aware of this kind of a virtual world, and this is the world where we are going to meet. I never thought so. I'm actually teaching in many universities across the world, and I never thought I could meet you on a digital platform. You're sitting in Rajapalayam, somewhere in Tamil Nadu, and I'm sitting here looking at you on a digital platform. Who makes the digital platform? Is the engineers who make it. Right from your computer to the all the internet facilities, the computers, it is the engineers who make it. So I mean, software, the hardware, and the rest of it. So without engineers, let me make sure that you will not be able to move the world and make the world. Now people tell me, what is so special about civil engineering? Civil engineering is so very special because of the opportunities that you have. Where else in the world will you get such an opportunity? And as a civil engineer, I'm telling you, as a civil engineer, your potential is immense, your promises are immense, and the opportunities are immense. That is why I thought I should talk about the opportunity of civil engineers today. That is why I talk about the opportunity of civil engineers today, especially civil engineers. As an engineer, you acquire all these skills of a manager, a team player, a team leader. You can analyze things well. You will have a beautiful mathematical ability to understand, to decipher things. Added to that is the opportunity that a civil engineer gets. We are all going through difficult times, I told you. Disasters have become a kind of calendar event. The environment is changing. The climate change is no longer a myth, it's a reality. So look at the opportunities as an engineer, as a civil engineer, to face these issues. People ask me, it's not civil engineering, it's an age of specialization. Lots of subjects that you learn during this course, lots of subjects. And each subject is a specialization in itself, which can lead you to livelihood opportunity. It can lead you to beautiful job opportunity if you can really look at subject by subject. Now, what are the emerging technologies? What are the emerging fields where you can actually go in? One of the most exciting fields that a civil engineer should look at is environmental engineering and environmental management. The world over, climate change has become a reality, and we as a fraternity are responsible for the climate change in many ways. I mean, looking at the usage of water, looking at how we cut down trees for making our doors and windows, how we are depleting the forest resources and the rest of it. We consume a lot of energy, we use a lot of inefficient building materials, we use a lot of inefficient building systems, technologies to build our buildings, build our infrastructure. And so as a fraternity, we are responsible. How to mitigate the impact is an emerging need. I'm telling you, lots of international development organizations the world over are looking at civil engineers to become environment managers. How to have sustainability built into the system is a critical issue and an exciting emerging field of study. I mentioned about disasters. Now, when I said disaster, disaster management, disaster mitigation, it's a huge area of study. The world over, we are facing the impact of disasters in terms of flood, in terms of cyclones and the rest of it. It's a civil engineer. There's a saying that goes like this. Disasters don't kill people, but buildings do. So what is the role of a civil engineer? To make safe, resilient buildings. So how do we make that? To study about disaster mitigation. How to make a building safe itself is an area of study. I'm talking about the present day challenges in which civil engineering is very intricately connected. So disaster management is another interesting emerging field the world over. You get to know about disaster management in a small way when you do basic civil engineering. Probably when you go, to a higher level of learning, you can specialize in that. See, geotechnical aspects of the soil. Every building, every infrastructure has to be attached to the Mother Earth with the bearing capacity of the soil, the rest of it. There is a subject called soil mechanics. Soil mechanics can lead to geotechnical aspects. Geotechnical aspects is another emerging field of study. And every structure needs to be stable, strong, durable, etc. Even if a disaster happens, it should not shake, it should not fall, it should not collapse. How do you look at it? You look at the structures, the viability of the structure, the strength of the structure, the durability of the structure, and coupled with your soil mechanics will make you very good structural engineers. We need a lot more structural engineers in the world because in India, for instance, we don't have innovations and expertise we have it to a limit, but we need a lot more, hundreds of more engineers in this field, structural engineering. And let me talk about a small machine that is actually revolutionizing the world. You have a paper on surveying. When I was doing surveying, those days, almost 3 decades back, we were having very rudimentary instruments like chain surveying, plane table surveying. Things have completely changed. Now we have a very, very small machine called total station, and with that we are actually doing wonderful things in civil engineering by surveying. People ask me, where can you get a job? Looking at this, actually sitting at home, I make a statement. We can deal at this particular portion later, but I'm just going to make a statement that on a digital survey instrument called total station, which will cost you a couple of lakhs, and with a mere investment of a couple of lakhs, I'm telling you, sitting at Rajapalayam, sitting in your home, you can make 10,000s of rupees per month sitting at home and doing probably 1 hour's work per day. This is a kind of immense potential that you don't see. You look at civil engineering per se, but the kind of potential that is something, it's amazing. All these services, especially sanitation, plumbing, irrigation, rest of it, they're all being done by civil engineers. They're all being done by civil engineers. There's an irrigation department, public works department, government, which looks after all this public health system. Public health engineering is another emerging field in the days to come. This is exactly the need of the hour now. We are talking about public health engineering. We need clean water, we need potable water, we don't want any pollutants to spoil our water and things like that. And what are the other opportunities, as a civil engineer you can have? Management is a huge opportunity. Project management is a huge opportunity. Construction management is again a huge opportunity. You need managers at all levels. Looking at the project, even a building, forget about a huge mega township, forget about a commercial building. You need to prepare a work schedule, you need to prepare a material schedule, you need to prepare a time schedule. And who prepares that? The construction manager who prepares it. With construction management, actually you can cut down on cost. So every builder will like to have a good project manager, project supervisor to assist him. This has become a huge specialty now. Look at the engineering knowledge in and out of India. Construction management has become an integral, very important part of engineering education. As a construction manager, I don't want to talk about the economic opportunities. Let me just make a statement that it is immense. As a construction manager, the project management is immense. Look at the new exciting scenario of emerging building technologies. People are, beginning to talk about prefab structures. Who makes them? The civil engineers make them. We're talking about, I don't know whether you have seen that in Wuhan during these COVID times. There were pictures and videos about one building which was built in just 16 to 17 days. Huge potential, my dear. Huge potential. So, lots of emerging opportunities are appearing in civil engineering like no other time. No other times. I mean, normally as an engineer, you look at government opportunities, you want to. Here, there's a space for creativity. Let me tell you that. There's a huge space for creativity and innovation. That is what I consider engineers, especially civil engineers, as potential employment givers, opportunity givers, and the rest of it. Somebody in the chat box, I mean, I'm getting a lot of messages in the chat box. One of them is that, what are the opportunities in government? Actually, when you look at the government, it is civil engineers that get the maximum opportunity. But my dear young aspirants of engineering, government is not the domain where you should look at. Government probably will give you, government jobs will give you security and kind of job security and safety in terms of getting monthly salaries and things like that. You are destined to go much higher. You have to pursue your line. I mean, you are going to be civil engineering. And as a civil engineer, you can do wonderful things, wonderful things elsewhere also. Of course, government is a huge thing. Somebody is asking me, where will you get, will I get high salary? And things like that. Come to that question a little later, talk about economic opportunities. But all the government departments, let me tell you that CPWD at the central government level and state PWD at the state level are huge employment providers in the sense every year, all these government departments, it's not only PWD, it's about water authorities, even electricity boards have a civil wing. So you have a lot of opportunities in the government, not only in the government, commercial government sector, but also in public service. PSUs are there, semi-government establishments are there. Hundreds of institutions that employ engineers, hundreds of institutions in the government sector that employ civil engineers. I mean, I won't get to the details because our time is very limited. So, in the government sector, I mean, even all the engineering disciplines, civil engineering is one area which will get maximum opportunities in the government sector. Forget about government sector. Then the development organizations, there are community-based development organizations, which are actually very exciting and which will give you lots of avenues for development. Private organizations, builders, everyone in the world are turning as builders. I mean, I'm sure smaller towns like Mofussil towns like Rajapalayam also will have lots of private concerns who employ engineers. Every building will need some kind of engineering skills in terms of supervision, monitoring, getting the estimates done, designing it. So there are immense opportunities in the private sectors, community organizations. Let us go beyond it. As an engineer, we should actually dream about better opportunity. Where will you get better opportunity? My dear friends, people who are born from our states, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, I will just reel out a few people. I don't want to name them. The chief of United Nations in disaster mitigation is a civil engineer from one of the southern states. The vice president of shelter division in the World Bank, vice president of shelter division in the World Bank, is again from a civil engineer from one of the southern states. Immense potential. Ordinary colleges. I'm not talking about IITs and NITs. Ordinary colleges who have graduated and who have gone to the top of the world. Let me say it with such pride and pleasure that they have gone to the top of the world, heading even United Nations organizations of disaster management and shelter division. So, I mean, if you have a dream, if you pursue it, you will reach there. All the organizations like UNICEF, UNIDO, UNEP, UNESCO, the World Bank, which is controlling the world, of international development organizations, like you name it, you need civil engineers because you are actually responsible for the infrastructure development. You are responsible for housing development. Your services are needed for better management, this thing. Everybody is talking about infrastructure. Infrastructure is a huge criterion in development. Unless you have proper infrastructure, you will not be able to develop anything. So urbanization happening in a big way. So infrastructure development is a mandatory thing. Even if in the COVID times, you see elevated highways being built, dams are being built, all kinds of buildings are being built. Nothing is stopping. Even during COVID times, we are actually seeing lots of developments across it. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be reversed. The pace and intensity will only increase. So when the infrastructure development happens, in terms of buildings, roads, bridges, whatever you say, plumbing lines, the immense potential of the engineers will also. And I just taking you to a few opportunities only. My academic institutions, there are so many hundreds of engineering colleges in the country, and academic institutions also can give you. I'm getting some disturbance on the way. Somebody is talking close. Some crosstalk is happening anyway. Please mute them because it disturbs me also. The academic institutions actually can give you immense potential. Academic institutions, as a teacher, I mean, you can teach civil engineering and earn your living. Good salaries you get. New emerging systems like building material centers are coming up, Nirmiti Kendras are coming up, factories are coming up. You can do your own consultancy, you can do your own contract, you can be an entrepreneur in system. Why don't you think about that opportunity? You can be a builder, you can be an entrepreneur, you can run a factory producing building materials, you can have your own consultancy, you can design your destiny. Which other discipline, without much investment, you can actually design your destiny? Let me ask you this, young people sitting out there looking at high salary potential and high job potential, which other discipline of engineering gives you the opportunity to design your own destiny? Only civil engineers get that opportunity. Remaining in this platform, and you don't need that kind of investment to become one. All you need is a very sound technical knowledge and a will to survive and be successful. You need that. You need to pursue your dream. You need to be very determined. You need to have that focus. If you have that focus and determination, I'm sure as a social entrepreneur, you can be a huge thing. Everybody, everywhere, whether he's a doctor, engineer, or any other professional, everybody looks at job satisfaction. Let me make a statement again. Civil engineering is one discipline of engineering where your thoughts, your actions is directly being converted to a three-dimensional reality. When I say three-dimensional reality, your thought and your vision, your ideas can get transformed to buildings. It can get transformed to safe and secure and stable buildings, structurally stable buildings. I'm telling you, which other profession can give you such a lot of job satisfaction per se? Let us for a minute don't look at the economic opportunities, economic salaries and recipes. I don't know, I'm getting many questions in the chat box asking about salaries. You're very young to look at it. If you have the skill, you'll be picked up and money is not the issue. You'll get money when it's needed. You have to wait, you have to work your way out. You have to wait, have some knowledge of things before you can look at economic opportunity. And I'm telling you, no other profession other than civil engineering will give you this kind of job satisfaction in terms of the work environment. Let me tell you this. If you can't enjoy the work, then your frustrations will go up, your stress levels will go up. Civil engineering each day is a challenge. Each day is and when you have challenges in terms of a lot of things, I don't want to go into the detail, challenges that make you ticking. Even in COVID times, I have plenty of works to do because I'm building so many buildings, hundreds of buildings across the country. Those buildings are all coming up. So each day when I wake up, I don't wake up frustrated. I have new problems to solve. I have to get this building. I have to design something new. And it is this thing, the job satisfaction actually, that will take you forward. And the variety of job opportunities. Let me tell you, it's the age of globalization, universalization, and you don't know what is the kind of life that you're going to have. I just read three names. Neil Armstrong. Have you heard of Neil Armstrong, who stepped into the moon, first man to step on the moon? Neil stepped on the moon, Armstrong, Jimmy Carter, and Alfred Hitchcock. Three different names. I read out three different names. Neil Armstrong, Jimmy Carter, and Alfred Hitchcock. All of them were engineers. So this is, I mean, as an engineer, you learn the basic things, and then you can go into civil engineer, especially, the kind of creativity, innovation that show. You can actually make your life after. There is no comparison. There is no comparison in economic opportunities, no comparison in career opportunities. The engineers get maximum number of career opportunities in the world. And as I told you before, it brings in new challenges. Every day is a new challenge. And another interesting thing about engineering education, especially civil engineering, you see, it's not only the career development, it's the intellectual development that you will have. I told you that each day actually presents you new challenges and new opportunities. You dwell on that, you pursue your dream, and each day becomes a challenge in itself. And intellectually you are charmed. You'll have to struggle to keep abreast with the new technology development, the new emerging technologies, and you always update yourself. You look at the computer, you look at the internet contents, you update yourself, look at the amazing structures that are coming up. You imbibe the spirit, you learn new things every day. That way, your intellect is always fed. Daily, on a daily basis, you learn new things. I mean, at my age, I still go to a building to learn again. I go to conventional buildings. Any building that interests me, I still go there. I still go there so that I can look at the new things. At my age, I'm still a student, looking at things, trying to learn things, and no other career other than civil engineers get this kind of food for intellectual development. Basic potential. I don't know whether you know about it. I belong to a completely different domain. I belong to non-profit sector, not-for-profit sector, and service is our main motto. Civil engineers get maximum opportunity to benefit society. You can help the society in many, many ways. India is going through struggling times. It is a developing country. In terms of resources, we have a lot of problems. In terms of sustainability, we have lots of problems. And let me tell you that civil engineers, through their intervention, in terms of buildings, in terms of bridges, in terms of even having a good plumbing line, irrigation facilities, you can reach out to people, hold them, and look at national goals of self-reliability, self-reliance, sustainability, and the rest of it. A lot of people have been asking about financial security. Let me tell you, it's my own life story. The kind of money that you can make after some time. You have to struggle through that. You have to go through your journey. You have to wait and look at the opportunity. You can make, if you really want to make money, there is no other profession. Let me tell you, there is no other profession which will give you such a lot of economic opportunity. Be assured of it because it's my own story. The financial security, forget about it. The prestige is a civil engineer. You are being respected in society as a civil engineer. I mean, nowhere else you'll get this thing. As a professional environment, you work with a team always. You work with a lot of people. I mean, in the civil engineering office, there's a quantity surveyor, there's an estimator, there's a project manager, there are site supervisors. You always deal with a multiple choice of career opportunities. And it's a professional environment which can be motivating, which can really take you to another level of this thing. And always this creative thinking is very critical for the development. It's not engineering education per se, but it's all about creative thinking that will actually take you forward. I made a statement in the beginning, looking at the social opportunities, economic opportunities, academic opportunities, and career opportunities. Let me make this statement myself. Civil engineers are best equipped. They are the people who will make most of it. Let me reiterate my statement again. My social opportunities that you get, the career opportunities that you get, economic opportunities that you get, reach out to people that the kind of the creativity and innovation. These 5 things that makes civil engineers so special and so dear to the society. So those who are looking at me with, I'm getting many questions. I don't know whether I have time for feedback today because I have to rush to some other this thing. Uh, 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 let me take one or two questions before I wind up. I mean, chat box, can you put me some questions and I can quickly answer that and wind up the session? Hello. Can you put something in the chat box so that I can respond to that immediately? Yeah. Are you there, participants? Anybody can ask any. Is a PhD required for, say about Habitat Technology? Habitat Technology Group is actually an NGO, non-governmental organization committed to sustainable architecture. We do only buildings that are sustainable, cost-effective, eco-friendly, eco-sensitive, and energy efficient. We think these are mandatory minimum for India, developing countries in India. Sustainability cannot be compromised. And I use materials like earth, for instance, for big buildings, multi-story buildings. I use lime as a cementitious material. I use bamboo as a this thing because I'm very convinced about the tensile strength of bamboo and a lot of technologies. I don't want to go at length. I believe, I mean, as an organization, we believe that there's another question coming in. Why students are less in civil engineering? No, you are completely mistaken. You are completely mistaken. Civil engineering is one field which is getting fast filled up in every engineering. I go across the country, I'm a part of ACT, and that is why, civil engineering seats are seats that get not, I mean, IT is closing down in many ways. The IT is a kind of bubble. Computer engineering surveying, IT is going like a bubble. And civil engineers make good IT engineers. It's all about internet connectivity, and civil engineers can make IT engineers. So I'm telling you, across the country, is the civil engineering seats that are filling up fast. Quickly, some more questions. Startup, wonderful, wonderful this thing. This is what I told you. As an entrepreneur, you have lots of choices to make, lots of interventions in sustainability. Startups are, excellent opportunities to take it forward. Yeah. PG courses are not really necessary. I'm telling you, that's an area of specialization. If you want to really specialize in something, looking at a particular career opportunity, PG is necessary. But you get basic engineering knowledge about all civil engineering subjects at the graduate level itself. You want to go further, probably in civil, structural engineering or geotechnical aspects, transportation engineering, planning, etc. You can go for PG, but PG is not really required to get a job. Not in the academic institution, of course, you need that. But why low salaries for civil engineers? Well, so that's a completely misnomer. You think that people in all these IT companies are paid completely baseless and stupid. Let me tell you that. You think that I don't want to name the companies, big IT companies pay you more. Probably for a start, they will pay you more. I mean, comparatively, as a fresher of civil engineering, you'll be lowly paid. As probably a fresh IT engineer will get more money, but there is no comparison. After 10 years, you will take over, and the IT engineers will come down. So, a difference between foreign engineers. My God, I mean, we have the best of. Somebody is asking me whether you'll get opportunities. Why foreign engineers are better? Indian engineers are the best in the world. Indian workers are the best in the world. Believe in ourselves. We have the best of talents and best of resources. So be proud that you are going to an Indian engineer. And Indian engineers are the engineers who make the world. In United States, in UK, the entire engineering industry faculty is being manned by Indian engineers. Be proud of them. Yeah, I mean, people ask for experiences. I'm telling you, somebody was asking me whether you need experience. This is where, as a civil engineer, as a fresh engineer, you should be able to, work hard probably for a couple of years. Go to any field. You can go to construction site, work as a project assistant for some time. You learn a lot of things. Go to an engineering consultancy firm, work as an assistant for some time. You acquire your knowledge, and then you go forward. Yeah. Uttara, I think it's time to wind up, and you can share my email ID with the participants. If they have any questions, I'll be only happy to answer. And thank you very much for the opportunity given. Unfortunately, it's time for me, and I think I need to leave now. All the inquiries that you put on my email will be answered within a few days. So I will also, I mean, if you want my email ID, I'll share it with you. Habitat.technology@gmail.com is my email ID. Let me say it again. Habitat.technology@gmail.com is my email ID. And any question, anything you can ask me, even if it sounds silly to you, but I will all take it. I will take all the questions and answer it personally to you. So, the faculty members, thank you very much for the opportunity given. To the participants, thank you very much. And we have got a long way to go. My dear aspirants of civil engineering, be assured, be confident that you are going to make the world, and be proud that you are going to be a civil engineer. That's all. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks so much for your insightful session, sir. It was truly knowledgeable, and definitely participants would have enriched with your knowledge and various fields of civil engineering. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Hello. Sir, all answers in my form, sir.